Hey, what's up, everyone? It is Elizabeth Graham from Anchored by Christ. I am in my homeschool room slash office, so you'll see a few of my homeschool stuff that I'm doing. But in today's video, I want to kind of share my testimony. I have not posted any videos besides the intro into Anchored by Christ here on my YouTube channel. And to be perfectly honest, the reason why is because I have no idea where I'm gonna go with this. Let me just keep it real from the get-go. I am very real. This is what I look like on the norm. I don't wear makeup. I don't my eyebrows are usually nicer, but it is literally been 3 weeks and we are sheltered in place or stay at home, whatever it's called. So the days are kind of blended now. I want to just talk to you guys a little bit about my testimony today and kind of share a little bit about where my life's been and where I truly believe that God is leading me. And first and foremost, everyone's story is different, and I want people to understand and to feel that just because you don't have a testimony, like one of those coming to Christ moments, maybe you were saved from your whole life, that doesn't make anyone better than anyone. Your story is absolutely beautiful because it's your story. So share it. Share that you've been a Christian since you were born, and by the grace of God, you've been saved this whole time. How amazing is that? Well, my story is not like that. My story is very different. I was raised Christian. My mom got saved when I was about 5 years old, I think. I'm not sure, 3 or 5. I don't know the exact dates on that. My mom was saved. We went to a Christian school up until when we were 8. So we went to a private Christian school starting when I was 3. So I want to say maybe 4 or 5, she got saved, and it was a little rough for a long time. I don't want to put my family's business out there in a public forum, but it was just very rough. My dad wasn't really acceptable of it, and so my mom kind of had a hard time with it. And growing up, I saw how hard it was being a believer, and to be honest, I think that's why I didn't want to be a part of it. Let me keep it real. Because I saw how hard it was. And so I grew up with it. I remember singing worship because we would do concerts every year in our private school, singing worship. And when we moved from Los Angeles area to San Bernardino, California, I went to a public school and we were going to church in LA. So I remember we would take the train and then the bus and go to church. And then my mom found a church in San Bernardino area for us to go to. And I got involved with the youth group. And I started kind of singing with the youth group. I remember being in worship and starting with our choir or youth group, choir, whatever. And I remember around the age of 12, I started singing. And I grew up in a very Spanish Pentecostal church. We would sing, I think it's called corridos or something like that. My daughter knows the song because I've been playing for her to see where my faith, what music I used to listen to, that song Remoleando, Remoleando, things like that. And so it was kind of cool, reminiscing. And so I joined, and then I went to high school. And in high school, I was I don't want to be Christian. So I wanted to rebel. I wanted to do my own thing. I didn't really have a relationship with my dad. And so I started looking for that relationship in other places. And so with dudes and stuff like that. And so I got my first serious boyfriend when I was 15. And I remember being in love. And now thinking about it, high school love is hilarious. But anyways, I remember being in love. And what's crazy about that is that ain't love. And so it wasn't the most healthiest relationship at all. It wasn't healthy at all. If he ever sees this video, I told a friend this. I told somebody this. I said, he is the boyfriend I will tell my daughter to stay away from, those type of boys. It was really bad. And so very possessive, I wasn't allowed to talk to guys because he had really bad jealousy issues. And so I didn't talk to other dudes. I couldn't have guy friends. So kind of when that relationship started, my beginning of my sophomore year and ended like the beginning of my senior year. So we were together almost 2 years, and it wasn't healthy, you know, at all. I'm gonna say it like a bunch of times. It wasn't healthy. And I think looking back at that, I was looking for the love that I was missing from my own physical father with other dudes, from other men, because I was in love. And there are people, and I think there are people in this world who lack that, and so they look for it in other places. But let me make a pause and kind of drift real quick and tell you that that kind of love is only found in Christ. Because even as a married woman, like I'm married, I hardly ever wear my ring, sorry. As a married woman, I can tell you that I cannot put all of my like love in my husband and my kids. Like the love, I wouldn't know true love if it wasn't for Christ showing me that love is unconditional and love is very sacrificing, because he sacrificed. You know, Jesus died on the cross for us. And so to find that love in things or in men or in people or in places and money, whatever, is never going to give you any kind of fulfillment. And so back to that. And so once that relationship ended, I felt free. I remember like being crazy, like having fun. And then I had another boyfriend. And then once I graduated high school, so with that boyfriend, and not a lot of people know this, and this is kind of like the first time I get to publicly share this. I joined the Army when I was 18. I turned 18 January. I left February. I live in February, and I came back in like end of March. No, I left January. It was the day they captured Saddam Hussein. It's the best way I could think. That's the day I left. The day I shipped out was the day they found Saddam Hussein under in that cave. That's the day I left. Went to the airport. I just remember my dad hugging me and being so happy because he was afraid that I was going to go to war and stuff like that. But anywho, I remember going in because I wanted my freedom. My dad was a very, very, very like strict parent. Like I couldn't do anything as his way or the highway, you know, things like that, very controlling. And so I joined. I felt like I had my freedom. That's hilarious to me. Like, think about it. Does that make sense? You got freedom. I thought I had freedom from joining the military. Like, wow, being 18, you're so naive and you have no idea what you're doing, what you're talking about. You just make dumb decisions because you feel like an adult. And the first adult decision I made was to get my freedom in the Army. I don't know what I was thinking. Duh, I guess. But anyway, so I joined. I remember, like, I joined we arrived. I went to South Carolina, Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and I remember we landed. Was so excited, you know, to have freedom. Yeah, I'm a real big job, you know. Yeah, no. So I got there, and I remember, because like the first week is in process, like the first week, whatever. I remember hating it. I called home and said, Mom, I want to come home and I hate this place. I don't want to be here. I hate this place. Literally what I told her. And I was crying because I missed my mommy. My big adult decision, and I missed my mommy. She was like telling me it's going to be okay. Just push through. Being the best mom in the world. Shout out to my mommy. Love you. And so I legit had, once we got off that bus and I had a bunch of people yelling at me, because I swear to y'all, like, I think they rev themselves up. They're like, ooh, fresh meat, what's up? I'm about to get cray, you know? They start yelling at you. And I remember thinking all kinds of nasty words about them, like, get out of my face. Like, I remember this pack. They give you this big old pack. I'm just telling you guys a little bit about the crazy part of, oops, my bra is showing. Ding dong. we got off the bus and they're like yelling, bro. Like, I'm like, what is up with everyone yelling? Like, I literally remember saying this out loud. Saying, why are you guys yelling? Like, oh my God. And then I had a woman in my face, like, we can say what we own, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, whoa, chill. Okay, I get it. You're the boss. I did not last through that thing. I hated it. And then I came home. I cannot tell you how I came home or why I came home. I'm not able to disclose that, but I came home and started clubbing, which I have no problem if you want to club and you love to dance, more power to you. But that was my escape from reality, that I was not a happy person. I was depressed. I did not like my life. So I would drink and I would drive. Drink and drive. Not the smartest of decisions for people. And I was very dumb, drinking and driving. And I remember one time with a friend, I got pulled over. I was drunk, but shouldn't be a but there. But to be honest, I was very close. Like, the club was here and my house was literally, you would exit, go left, down like for 5 minutes, and my house was there. Like, I had a club that close to my house. No, that wasn't a club, that was someone's house. Holy mug, I just remembered. And I remember when I got pulled over, I had my friend in the car, and that light that they put on you was so bright. I could have sworn this person could have like arrested me. But God had a plan for me. And I remember I was praying and saying, God, what is going to happen to me? Because it happened so fast. It was like he pulled us over and I was like, crap, I am hella drunk. And I'm about to go to jail and my life's ruined. Pulled us over, license registration. I told my friend to shut up. I was like, don't say anything. And I remember giving that, and then he got a call. It was in the Dino, like in San Bernardino. So I'm pretty sure he got a call from a murder or someone got stabbed, shot, whatever. Okay. So he left. He's like, you know what? Forget it. I was like, hey, I remember just saying, like, my house is right there. He's like, all right, go home, hurry up. Went home. Fast forward to like a few years later, and I got married when I was 21. Again, because I wanted freedom to do whatever I want. Oh my gosh. Like, telling y'all this story is like embarrassing. But it's crazy, because here is where you see God beginning to unravel the story. My marriage to this dude was horrific. And if he ever sees it, someone ever sees it that knows him, I wasn't the best wife to him. I was horrible person to him. And I think because of that, I was hurt that we got like separated. I remember he was done, and I started going to church to get my act together, and he was like even more done. It was too late. And I remember telling my mom, like, I thought going to church and getting involved and becoming a Christian is supposed to make my life easier, not harder. And a lot of times we go into this faith thing. We go into this, coming to Jesus like, oh my God, everything's going to be so beautiful. Everything's going to be rainbows and butterflies. It's compromise and whatever. I'm about to Maroon 5, y'all. But the truth is, it got hard. I remember it got so hard. And we separated. I remember going back home, crying and telling my mom, why is this so hard when I thought my life was supposed to get better? And my mom, with her far wisdom, that even if I get 1% of that, the most wisdom was like, God knows what he's doing, and you have to trust that he sees the bigger picture. You don't want to hear that when you're like depressed and sad. Like, I know you don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. When you are going through some super hard times, the truth is that God has a plan, and His word tells us to trust in Him. My life verse from that moment on became trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean on not on your own understanding, and in all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your path. Proverbs 3:5-6. And I'm going to tell you guys, I read that thing over and over and over and over and over and over. Right there. I don't know if y'all could see it. Right there. I read that over and over and over and over. Because when I got divorced and separated, I felt like my life was destroyed. Like I had this life. Marriage, kids, house, job. Had it all. Felt like I was going to have it all, I was like, I'm going to get married, I'm going to have some kids, I'm going to have a good job, blah, 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 can retire when I'm whatever age, and we're going to live happily ever after. But I wasn't I wasn't fulfilling my calling. Like, Christ had he had this plan for me. I didn't see it. Christ had this magnificent plan, and I could just see the little speck of my plan. Itty bit of it. Can't even tell you how small that plan was. Is this? My plan was itty bitty, smaller than that. And I was depressed. So what did I do? I turned to the Word. I promise you, those, about 2 years of singleness were the biggest growth of my life and my biggest closeness with Christ. So if you're facing something right now and you feel like your closeness with Christ and you aren't close to God, like you feel like you're not, that's when He's right there waiting for you to turn to Him. And I had to have that verse in my mind. It literally is my life verse for everything. I'll probably share with you guys next week my son's story of the NICU, but that still was my verse. Horrific, terrifying, tragedy moments. God knows what He's doing. And so I couldn't see the bigger picture. But I kept going and trusting and worshiping and singing and praying and kept doing all of that. Then I meet my husband. That was God's gift to me for my patience, for trusting Him. Was my husband. That gift that He wrapped up. My husband was going through stuff too when I was going through things, and then he turned to God and I turned to God, and God knew what He was doing. So I met my husband. Did not like him at first. One day I'll show you guys that story. It's kind of hilarious too. But I legit look back and I see that those times of hardship, depression, getting out, overcoming, building a testimony, it's like building God's story. And to tell you the truth, there's no greater story than a story that He writes. So if you have things going on in your life right now and you are seeing no outcome at all whatsoever, you see nothing, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. His word is full of truth. One of the the chapters in the Bible that when people go through things, I like to really like look at is, I'm making sure it's the right one because I don't want to make the worst, but I've read both of them. So it was Psalm 34. You know, Psalm 34:4 says, I sought the Lord and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. And then verse 6 says, this poor man cried out and the Lord heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. Like Psalm 34, and I remember reading Psalm 37. Psalm 37:4. I'll end it right here. Thirty-seven, 4, and 5. There's not going to be a lot of editing in this, I'll tell you. I'll keep it real. Is delight yourself also in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. And that it is italicized, slanted. So, whatever it is, he shall bring it to pass. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you'd like to, you know, see more videos and no more videos, you know, comment below what videos you want to see. Like, let me keep it real. I don't know where I want to go with this. I just know that God put it on my heart to just share this video with you guys. Right before I'm like sitting, I'm literally in the middle of doing my quiet time. Like I'm writing, like, you know, I'm writing and he put it on my heart. So comment below the videos. I'm going to try to like keep it very Christ-centered. You know, I wanted to do it a military kind, but it might just be like my life, YouTube. You guys get to be involved in my life. I'll try not to always be in my homeschooling room, but it might just happen because the computer's there. So, God bless you guys. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the button. And I forgot to say that in the beginning, so I'll have to kind of add it somewhere. Eek. Forgot to do that, but God bless you guys. Yeah. Bye now.